What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, thank you. Today we're going to be doing something different, something I haven't done yet. This is going to be my first official appreciation and pose showcase featuring my Hot Toys Captain America and the Winter Soldier 2-pack figures. With this, I'll be creating 10 scenes using both figures. I'll give a brief description of the poses for one rotation on the turntable, and on the next, I'll let it play along to music, totaling about 2 minutes per scene. For me, this is to celebrate the character and figures. Basically, my favorite part of collecting. Being able to create scenes and cool display options to bring my collection to life. It's funny, when I first started collecting, this 2-pack was like my third purchase, I think. I found it in a comic book store here in Perth about 4 years ago, just by chance, and as I'm a big fan of the movie and Chris Evans as Captain America, I just had to get it. For years I had them just sitting in museum poses, too scared to do anything. 1, because I was new to collecting and wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them, and 2, because I was too scared to damage them, more so with the Stealth Suit Cap as he does have some issues. Most recently, I did consider selling them to fund newer figures, but then decided against it, and I can tell you now, I'm so glad I didn't sell them. The other day I had an idea to pose Steve Rogers with my Wolverine, as they are both in civilian clothing, because I wanted to see what I could do for photography, which then led to me smashing out this 10-scene pose showcase. And I gotta tell you, I wasn't even planning a video for these guys, but lately, I've become more aware that when an idea comes to you, you gotta strike there and then to make it happen, because when you do, great things can happen. Before we get started, make sure to stick around until the end of the video to see how easy it is to go in the draw to win yourself your very own Hot Toys Dark Knight figure with a custom wide cape, just for liking and subscribing to my channel. We're on a mission to reach 1K subscribers and we coming, but I need your help, so let's get it. And with that, let's get on with the show. Pose number 1. I thought we'd start off nice and simple and put them both in basic poses. Stealth Suit Cap holding his shield and pointing into the distance, about to lead the charge. And Steve Rogers just holding his shield up, looking stoic. Nice, simple, easy, safe poses that complement each other. This one's for the collectors that don't want to risk damaging their figures. I can tell you though, from here, we will definitely start to get more dynamic and push these guys to their absolute limits. So let's buckle in. We're gonna have some fun. Pose number 2, Stealth Suit Cap launching forward, shield out, ready for action, and Steve Rogers in a kneeling pose, also ready for action, leaning forward on his shield with helmet in hand. I like how these two looks go together, plus it gives me a chance to incorporate the helmet accessory with the Steve Rogers. This was actually the first scene I came up with when posing these guys together that gave me the idea for this entire video. Both easy, simple poses to achieve with each figure, as Steve Rogers has no restrictions, which you'll see more throughout the rest of the video. He was simple. I've completely loved posing him up. As for Stealth Suit Cap, this pose doesn't require too much strain. The only real strain is the weight of the shield with his arm out there, as both these shields are die cast, which I love and also worry about, mind you, as they are heavy and do weigh on the arms. All in all though, I think a great display option, just maybe not a long-term one for Stealth Suit Cap because of that arm out. As you also may notice, for a lot of these upcoming poses, you will see I use dynamic stands, which do not come with the figures. As I like to pose up my figures, I got myself some extra of these flight stands. If you're wondering where I got them from, I got them from Suggo Toys in Sydney, Australia. The stands were a great price and those guys have great customer service, so check them out if you need some dynamic flight stands or anything else in the collecting world. Now, I'll let it swing back round one more time before moving on to pose 3. Pose number 3. You can see I've kept the leaping forward pose with Stealth Suit Cap here, as I also like how it looks alongside this pose with Steve throwing the shield, now both in a dynamic pose together. You'll also notice I've got it swinging around in the opposite direction on the turntable to link up with the scene before it. For Steve, I really like this pose as it may be my very favourite of all his poses I've done with him in this showcase. Because his mobility is so good, getting that right arm all the way over to create this look was easy, and I think it looks great and gives the impression of movement and momentum like he's ready to launch it as it swings around on the turntable. As I've been playing around with creating scenes and not just individual poses, I've kept the same pose on one figure whilst changing the other one for this scene and the next scene, where I'll keep Steve in the same pose again, but change the Stealth Suit Cap up to create a different combo. Let me know what you think of the two combos and which you think looks better in the comments down below, because honestly, I can't decide. Pose number 4, with Stealth Suit Cap now landing and Steve Rogers still launching the shield. I love the way these two look together. I mean, damn, if I do say so myself, I love this look right now. I got some great shots from my Instagram with this combo right here as well, so be sure to check that out when you get a chance. I do still do a lot of toy photography and put that on my Insta, as I like creating scenes and pictures and putting them up, and these guys I've had a lot of fun with. This will probably be the display I leave them in the DTOF when I'm finished with this showcase, to be honest. I'm super happy with this one. Stealth Suit Cap has enough mobility and balance to make this a safe and fairly easy pose to achieve. And again, only fear would be the longevity with the die-cast shields, and Steve Rogers' arm being up like that, it could weaken and start drooping. But man, a display like this is worth it in my book. I'd love to know what you think of this one, guys. Let me know down below. Pose number 5, Stealth Suit Cap running either away from an explosion or running through battle in general. This one right here, guys, is a favorite as well. I'm really happy with this pose. I might actually have to keep him in this pose for the DTOF when I'm done. I love the momentum and story this tells. When I see this, I can imagine him running through battle, coming to save the day. And actually, it's not a stressful pose to keep him in long term. Plus, the normal crotch grabber works fine with this. It is quite sturdy. Now, for Mr. Steve Rogers, he's about to bring down the shield and lay the smackdown on some punk. You'll see as this one comes around, I think it looks best from front on personally. It has a great dynamic look and it's easy to achieve with this figure as again, there are no limitations, except those we put on ourselves. So yeah, I'm happy with this scene and I think it's another great display option for these two guys. Let me know what you think. Pose number 6. We have Steve Rogers jumping back, shielding himself from something, and Stealth Suit Cap now stumbling forward, winding up to launch his shield. I wanted to play around here with both of them going in different directions to show the momentum forward and back, and I think I've achieved it with this combo. I don't think Steve's pose would be possible with Stealth Suit Cap due to the lack of range of motion in his arms, so anything above or around the head will be done with Steve, whereas Stealth Suit Cap has good leg mobility, so for this pose it's fairly easy for him. It's just that arm up there is definitely not going to last, so while it's a cool pose, I don't think it's a long-term pose for him. I must say for these two, I actually think they look better on the turntable because getting to see them from different angles, I feel looks better, whereas just looking at them from front on in a DTOF, Steve's pose doesn't look quite as good from front on as it does side on. So for me, I like this one as a moving showcase rather than a static pose option. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know down below. Pose number 7. Come on, man. Tell me this one ain't cool. Steve Rogers in midair, covering up with the shield, bracing for impact. I'm super happy with this pose. Reminds me of the films when Cap had to do that in battle. I've never seen anyone else do this pose before either. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then we got Stealth Suit Cap sprinting forward into action. For this one I wanted to simulate a real dynamic run, and by adjusting the angle and having him leaning into the left, I think it gives a nice impression of movement and momentum. And the way he's running, I think it sets the scene and you know what the story is that the pose is trying to tell. That's probably my most favorite running pose I've done so far, to be honest. I'm loving playing around with angles at the moment, and I think this one fits the bill perfectly. Now back to Steve. I think this was about as tight as I could get his body crunching inward without snapping something, so I'm super happy with that, and I love the story that this one's trying to tell as well. I think he just looks awesome like that behind the shield. Very cool. Pose number 8. We have Steve Rogers shielding himself again, running through battle. For this one, I wanted to simulate a moment of action, using his mobility to create a dynamic movement, a real-world moment of someone if they were actually running and lifting a shield up for protection. I think I got close to something unique on this one. Then we have Stealth Suit Cap leaping over something pointing in the direction his team are to go in. This one wasn't too crazy to achieve, but I did need to work the torso and thighs quite a bit to create a fairly natural movement. The torso is stiff on him, but I think I got the look close to what I was going for here. In hindsight, I should have put up like a brick or something in front of him to show him leaping over that, and I think that would have looked a lot better, to be honest. Still, super happy with this combo. Pose number 9. We have Steve Rogers in a simple kneeling pose yet again. I really like this one though, with the way he's kneeling and how he's holding the shield like that. I think these two looks work together, and I think they'll go great together in the DTOF as a display option. Then we have Stealth Suit Cap skydiving in. Shout out to the Clipper King for this one. I got the idea from your video, mate, to pose Cap in a skydiving pose like this, so thanks. This pose isn't that hard either, really, other than the arms. You have to be brave trying to twist the arms up and out like that. His shoulders and elbows are tight, and it's not easy to get them to stay anywhere. But I think I achieved the pose and the look for this time round. I'm telling you guys, when you're posing up your figures, having dynamic flight stands opens up the world of posing to way more options. I really like this one. Pose number 10, Stealth Suit Cap throwing the shield and Steve Rogers leaping back, grabbing the shield. For Stealth Suit Cap, I've been wanting to replicate this type of pose of him throwing the shield, much like Adam Pagels does in his photography. If you don't know who he is, check him out on Instagram under 16posing and the Facebook groups. He does great stuff. Being though that I'm using a turntable and everything is exposed, I tried to be a little creative and I'm using the only acrylic rod I have currently, which I've stuck to the turntable with blue tack. Then I just got some rocks from my backyard to cover it up, and I think it looks pretty cool. Moving on to Steve Rogers. My initial idea was to have him leaping back, attempting to grab the shield, but to get the shield sticking to the tip of his fingers wasn't doable without another acrylic rod, so I opted for this look, which I still think looks great and has the scene of these two going in opposed directions, which I like the look of visually. Well, this concludes my first appreciation and pose showcase for Hot Toys Captain America Winter Soldier 2-pack. I hope you like the format of the show, and I think I'm going to do more of these with all the figures I have. Honestly, for older figures, I still love these two. Even with all the issues they have, and just the fact that they're older figures, I've been super impressed with the display options I've been able to produce with them. I actually surprised myself considering the limitations, especially with Stealth Suit Cap's range of motion. Steve Rogers, on the other hand, no issues at all with posability, so it was easy and fun to pose him up. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this showcase and now have some new posing ideas for your Captain America figures that you can go and now emulate in your own displays. To finish up, onto the current giveaway I have running on the channel for my mission to reach 1K subscribers, where I'm giving away my very own Hot Toys Dark Knight DX02 1/6 scale figure with a custom wide cape. To enter the draw to win, simply subscribe to my channel, like and leave a comment on one of the videos. As the competition is random, the more comments and likes you leave, the more opportunities you'll have to win. It's that easy, guys. Get on it. I got lots more planned for the channel coming up, and I can't wait to share it with you all. I appreciate any support I receive, and that fires me up to create more dynamic content for this hobby that we all love. Until next time, live life, have fun, and keep posing. I'm out.